Hi guys, what's up? I am Sonu and you're watching Mathematics Expert channel. In this video, I am going to discuss the introductory part of the function. That is how we interpret the function. Actually, what is the interpretation of function? Now let's start. Suppose you have a circle. You have a circle of radius r. You have a circle of radius r. Then if I ask you what is the area of the circle, then you will tell area is equal to pi r square. That is, we can say that in this area there is only one variable, that is r. Thus we can say that area is the function of r. That is, if we change the radius, then area will also be changed. So we can say that area of the circle is a function of r. That's why I am writing here area as a function of r is equal to pi r square radius. Please note that this part is read as area as a function of radius, that is r. Similarly, if we have a square, let's consider next example. Suppose you have a square of side length x, then what is the area? Area is equal to what we say, x square. That is, here we can say that the area is the function of x, that is we can write here it as a function of, that is x square. Area is a function of x, that is here variable is x, here is variable is r. Similarly, if I ask you, suppose you have a rectangle of this L and this is M, then perimeter, what is the perimeter? Perimeter is 2 times of L plus M. Then we can say that this is the function of two variable L and M. Similarly, if you have a volume of a cuboid, suppose you have a cuboid. Suppose you have a cuboid. This is cuboid. This is cuboid. Suppose this length is x, this length is y, and this length is z. Then volume, what is the volume? Volume is equal to, what is the volume of cuboid is x, y, z. That is, here is volume as a function of x, y, z. Here there are three variables in volume of cuboid. So we can write that volume is a function of three variables. Thus, it is written as v as function of x, y, z is equal to x, y, z. This is just interpretation of the function, but now there is a huge part of function has remained. So let's start the meaning of f of a. Just see here, meaning of f of a, that is value of a function at a point. That is, f of a is nothing but represents value of function at x equal to a. Suppose by example, if you have a fx is equal to x minus 1 divided by x square plus 1, then if you have to find f of 2, that is find f of 2 is equal to what? So then f of 2 mean value of fx at x is equal to 2, that is f of 2 is equal to 2 minus 1 divided by 2 square plus 1 is equal to 1 by 5. Okay, this is 1 by 5. Similarly, if you have to find f of 1, that is value of function f of x, that is definition of function is x minus 1 x square plus 1. You have to find 2, then just put 2 instead of x and just put 1 instead of x, that is f of 1 plus of x, that is 1 minus 1 divided by 1 square plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, and also if you have to find f of 1 by t, that is a new parameter. Then it is nothing but just replaced x is by 1 by t, that is 1 by t minus 1 divided by 1 by t the whole square plus 1 is equal to nothing but just calculate it, 1 minus t into t divided by 1 plus t square. Similarly, if you have to find, suppose if you have to find sin x, f of sin x plus cos x, that is meaning I had same, just replace x by sin x plus cos x. Sin x plus cos x minus 1 divided by sin x plus cos x the whole square plus 1. Now consider the next example. This is just the basic introduction of basic problem. Suppose if fx is equal to piecewise function, this is piecewise function, fx is equal to defined in piece 2x minus 3 when if x greater than 3, and suppose x square minus 2x if minus 1 minus 1 greater x less than equal to 3, and next difference 1 by x plus 2 if what is the condition, x less than equal to minus 1. Then find f of 3, f of minus 1, f of 2, f of 0, f of 5, f of minus 5. Just find. Now see here, you have to find f of 3. Then in such type of problem, first we check f of 3, because 3 is the values of x. Then in which part you can put, you will put x equal to 3. Just check in which condition 3 is lying. Just see here, 3 is here present. No, 3 in this section present. Yes. Then you will put 3 in this part because 3 x equal to 3 is there. So what is f of 3? F of 3 is 3 square minus 3 into 2 is that is equal to 3. Now for f of minus 1, just check where minus 1 is lying. Here is minus 1, no. Here is minus 1 in domain, no. Here is minus 1, yes, it is because it has equality. So f of minus 1 is equal to 1 divided by minus 1 plus 2, because you will put minus 1 in this part because this is a piecewise function. So 1 by 1 is equal to, that is 1. Now we have to find f of 2. Just check where 2 is lying. 2 is lying in this section. Just put it, 2 square minus 2 into 2 that is equal to 0. Just find f of 0. Just search where 0 is lying. In this section 0 is lying? Yes. Just put it. F of 0 is equal to nothing but 0. And find f of 5. Search where 5 is lying. 5 is lying in this section because x is greater than 3. So f of 5 is equal to 2 into 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2 into times 5, 10 minus 3, 7. And for f of minus 5, just search where minus 5 is lying. Minus 5 is lying in this section. So f of minus 5 is equal to nothing but 1 divided by minus 5 plus 2, that is equal to minus 1 by 3. This is a just basic interpretation of the function. And suppose I have a next problem is basic. This is but just basic problem. Suppose if f of x minus 1 is equal to x square plus 2x minus 1, then find fx. Then what will be the fx? Because you have a definition f of x minus 1 instead of ax, just concentrate it. In earlier problem you have there is ax, but here is x minus 1. So for this type of problem, if you replace x to x plus 1, then here f of x minus 1 becomes fx. So just replace. So replace x minus 1 to x, then here is x just here is replace x is equal to x plus 1, so x plus 1 minus x, just replace x minus 1 to x, that is x is equal to x plus 1 is equal to, instead of x we have to put x plus 1, so here is x plus 1 the whole square plus 2 times of x plus 1 minus 1, that is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 2 minus 1, that is equal to x square plus 4x, and this is simplify plus 2. Similarly, if you have to find, suppose have a next problem is, suppose if I have f of x 3x minus 2 is equal to x square minus 1, then find x. In this problem here, the simple, that is x minus 1, there is no coefficient of x, that is similar, that is 1 simply. But here is coefficient of x is 3, but how you replace 3x minus 2 so that instead of inside the function of f become x. So this type of problem, just think here, if you replace 3x minus 2 is equal to suppose y, then here become y, then x is equal to y plus 2 divided by 3, that is if we replace x to y plus 2 divided by 3, then 3x minus 2 become y, and finally we replace the y by x, then we have function in x, so just replace it. So f of y equal to, put in x instead of y plus 2 divided by 3 the whole square minus 1 is equal to y square plus 4y plus 4 minus 9, that is minus 5 by 3. So you have a function in y, just replace it, because you can always replace variable x by y by z and something, so it does not matter, just replace x is equal to y square plus 4y, that is x square plus 4x minus 5 divided by 3. It does not matter whether you are replacing x by y by z and any else. So this is the basic operation of the function f of x. Now what is the definition of function actually? This is just basic operation introduction. What is the introduction of function? But now we will see definition of function. What is the actually definition of function? Just see here, definition of function. What is the definition of function? Suppose you have a two sets. If you have a two sets, if a and b are two non-empty sets, then a relation f from a set A to set B is said to be a function, to be a function if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B, has one and only one image in set B, then given relation is called function, and mathematically we represent it, and mathematically written as if such that, this is the symbol for such that from set A to set B is defined by y is equal to fx, where x belongs to set A, y belongs to set B, and x, y belongs to the function. That is a relation. That is a relation R from two sets. A relation, if we have two sets A and B are two non-empty sets, then the relation f from set A to set B is said to be a function if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B. Then we say that given the relation is function. Mathematically written as f such that f from set A to set B is defined by y equal to fx, where x belongs to A and y belongs to B and x belongs to the function. Just consider an example. That example. Suppose you have a set A. This is set A. Has elements. Suppose A, B, C, D. And set B. This is set B. Set A. This is set B. And set B has elements. Suppose 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose. And here is A is associated with 1. Suppose A is associated to 1. B is associated to 2. Just suppose. And C is associated to 4. And D is associated to 3. D is associated to 3. Is a function or not? Just see, check with by definition. Is a function or not? Is a function or not? Because just see here, set A has a element total 4, and every element has a unique image, that is unique relation with the element of set B. Here no one element of set A has not image in B. Every element has a relation with elements of set B. So this is a function, because f is equal to, if we put in form of ordered pair, that is we have collection A related to 1 and B related to 2 and C related to 4 and D related to 3. That is every element has a unique relation with the elements of set B. So this is an example of function. Suppose you have a next example. Suppose this is set A, because here the function is defined from set A to B. Just make the simple definition of function. This is function defined from set A to set B. And suppose set B is there, and set B has elements same condition 2, 3, 4, 5 and A, B, C, D. And suppose A has a relationship with 0. A has a relationship with 0 and B has a relationship with 1. B has a relationship with 1 and C is also has a relationship with 1. Just suppose C has also a relationship with 1 and D has also a relationship with 1. Now consider, is it a function or not? Is a function, because see carefully, A has a unique image in set B, that is with 0. B has a unique relationship with elements of set B, that is 1. C has every A, B, C, D all have a unique image, that is not a repeated image, that is multiple image. It has a unique element, a unique interest with associated with the elements of set B. Just not, because not confused. Why? If you are thinking that A, B, C, D are associated with the same elements of 1, this can associated, but here the one element cannot associated with 2 elements or 3 elements of set B, but 2 or 3 elements of set A can associated with single elements of set B. This is the definition of function. But if single elements of set A is associating with 2 or 3 elements of set B, this is violates the condition for the relation to be a function. So this is a function. Now consider next example. Suppose you have a set A and set B. Set A has element A, B, C, D. Same condition A, B, C, D. And set B has element 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And suppose A has its image with 0. A is associated to 0 and B is associated to 2. Suppose B is associated to 2 and C is associating with 4. C is associating with 4 and D has no image. Is it a function or not? Just check the condition. Is it fulfilling the condition for a function? Just see here. A has an image in set B which is equal to 0 and also B has an element with 2 image with 2 and C has also has an image with 4 but it has no image in set B. That is B is not associating any element of the set B. So it is function or not? It is not a function. Not a function. Because it's violating the rule for a relation to be a function. What is the condition for a function? If every element of set A has unique association with the elements of set B, then we say the relation is function. Because here D has no entries in set B, so is not a function. Now consider next example. Suppose this is set A and this is set B. This is set A and this is set B. Now suppose A has a entries A, B, C, D and set B has a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now associate A with 1. Just clear your concept by multiple examples. B is associating with 2, B is associating with 2, B is associating with 3 and B is also associating with 4. B is also associating with 4. And D has an element in B 5 and C is also associating with 5. Then what is the condition for a function? Just recapitulate. If every element of set A has unique entries in set B, then we say the given relation is function. But see here, A has a unique entries in B. This is fine, not any problem. But come to the part B. B has entries 2, 3, 4. That is B is associating with 3 elements of set B. That is, it is violating the rule for a function because in a function every element of set A has unique image in set B, that is relationship with elements of B. But here 3 element relationship with 3 elements, so it is violating the rule. Also C and D has no problem. C and D is fine, but B is associated with associated with more than one elements. More than one elements of set B. So it is not a function. So this is not a function because function is defined from set A to B, not a function. Just revise this example many times. I hope you will be clear by these concepts. And now consider notable point. This is very important point. Notable point. This is very important point. Just consider the first point. A function is also called a function is also called what? Mapping or map. Mapping or map. Don't confuse if you are seeing in any book that has written function to be a mapping or map, just consider it is a function. This is nothing else. Also next point is all elements of set A must be associated This is nothing but notable point, that is conclusion of all above example associated with elements of set B. Elements of set B. And the third point is any, but it has also condition, just write the condition. But all elements of B may or may not be may not be associated with A. Associated with elements of set A, that is A. Just see here by example. In this example, A has every element set of all elements of set A has a unique elements in set B, but elements 2, 3, 4, 5 of set B has no elements in set B. So it is also a function. But and now see the in this example. In this example, all I have image, but 0 has no image, so it is also a function. But if I eliminate 0 from here, then this is also a function. So here is all elements of set B has elements in set A. So may or may not be, that is all elements of set B may or may not be associated with the set A. Now the third point is, this is very important, any elements of A, any element of A must be associated. This is the very important condition for function, must be associated with the elements of set B. But any elements of set B may be associated with more than one element. More than one elements of A, because just see here by example. This is the element 1 of set B has associated with 3 elements of set B. That is, any element and elements of set B can be associated more than one elements of set A. This is the important point of this function. Now next point is that for a function, for a function f such that set A to defined from set A to set B by y is equal to, suppose, 2x minus 1, where x belongs to A is equal to set A, that is A0, 1, 2, 3, and y belongs to B is equal to minus 1, 1, 3, suppose 5, suppose 2, and suppose next element, suppose 0. That is pictorially, see here, set A has element 0, 1, 2, 3, and set B has elements minus 1, 1, 3, 5, 2, 0. Just see here, by what is the definition of function? Definition of function is y equal to 2x minus 1. That is, if you put x equal to 0, then you will get minus 1. That is, 0 is associating with elements minus 1. If you put 1, then y is equal to 1. That is, this is the B set and this is A set, because y is a subset of B and x is subset of A. If you put 1, then you will get 1. And if you put 2, that is associated with 3. If you put 3, then you will associated with 3, 2, 6, minus 1, 5. That is, every elements of set A has an image in set B, and unique image. So this is a function. So this is a function. So thanks for watching. I am stopping. In next video we will discuss domain and range.